Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso@thewatchbox.com. It's in the description below. It is your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see on any Watchbox platform. Please reach out to me directly. Email tmosso@thewatchbox.com for pricing. Today, we are discussing a lovely stainless steel Cartier Roadster, part of a family of watches, originally launched in 2001 and probably the 2000s era Cartier that is most highly regarded by male watch buyers and most requested for revival. So the timepiece is 37 millimeters across, not including the crown and crown plinth. It is relatively thin at only 9.8 millimeters thick, lug-to-lug. The case measures 44.1 millimeters, but include the end links of the bracelet, then it's more substantial and full-sized 52.6 millimeters across the wrist. We'll zoom out a little bit, take a look at the watch on my 16 centimeter circumference wrist. This is one of the largest Cartier Roadster sizes. There were larger watches, including chronographs, but in terms of actual wrist presence, you might be surprised because at first glance you wouldn't expect a 37 millimeter rated watch to wear like this, but form watches always wear larger than their rated size. I would say you could wear this watch as it is on a wrist as small as 15 centimeters circumference, and it is flat enough to fit underneath the dress cuff. It's a dress watch if you wish, but it's also a sports watch, automatic, fully loomed, stainless steel, and 100 meters water resistant. Once more, my wrist is 16 centimeters in circumference. The watch was designed from the beginning to be a convertible, appropriately enough for a timepiece named Roadster. So there's a pull-tab system that allows you to quickly and easily remove the bracelet from the case. Cartier has other accessory straps that you can use to change the look of the watch once you have denuded it of its bracelet. And it's easy. It's just like an automotive seatbelt buckle. Snap in, snap out, just like that. Cartier bracelets are always very supple. They have a lot of calculated play because the pins they use are actually articulated, and you can see that all removable links here are fixed using screws. No pin sleeves here. This is an upscale type of assembly. You can also see that intermediate sized links are featured in case you do find yourself between sizes. Now there's a lot of fingerprints here, and I apologize for that, but I always say that I would rather hold a watch with my bare hands than drop it with gloves, and that's the notion behind this. You can see that the finish is outstanding. We have a channel down the center that's been satinated. Flanking links are of high polish. We have a double deployant clasp, friction fit, snap shut, close it. Features a curved underside to match the curved underside of your actual wrist. Rolling back to the case, you can see it's all of high polish. It has what could be interpreted as a tribute to Frenched or recessed automotive lights or tail lights, and you can see that the case assembly uses this kind of recession to reference that automotive imagery. It has a wonderful, sinuous, sexy, organic form, redolent of 1950s and 1940s sporting sheet metal. We have what could be interpreted as either a Dagmar-style vintage bumper overrider or perhaps a tail light bullet that gives way to a swelling that's faired in. You can see that there's a fairing between the crown plinth as well as the lens that's used to magnify the date. Again, that fairing designed to reference automobiles. It's hard to place the reference specifically, but it feels automotive. The dial is much more obvious. The most interesting versions of the Roadster are those like the one I hold here that do feature dials that appear to have been drawn directly from the dashboard of a vintage car. Here we have two different focal planes. The center is a metallic satin sunburst in silver. Outboard, we have a sort of concentric track on which radially arrayed and stylized Arabic numerals have been placed. This looks like the dashboard clocks, speedometers, and tachometers of cars made in the 40s, 50s, and some even from the 60s. Porsche and Mercedes-Benz and Jaguar in particular come to mind. Now, in good taste, Cartier made the date disc the same color as the center dial. And you can see that the date disc surround is also in silver. We have a hacking seconds function, so you can stop the watch and set it to a reference time. We also have a quick set mechanism for rapidly cycling the date should the watch run down or encounter an irregular length month. Underneath the case back, we have a high-grade ETA 2892A2, which is a thin, fine automatic movement that winds bidirectionally for a 42-hour power reserve. It pivots on 21 joules, beats away at 4 hertz or 8 beats per second. And again, it does have the hacking and the quick set features. It's very tough, accurate, thin, and fine automatic movement, once again with a 42-hour power reserve. And this watch has plenty of luminescent, lighting up like an automotive dashboard at night. If you love cars, if you love watches, Look no further. Your timepiece has arrived. Reach out to Team Mosso at thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details.